Hi, everybody. This morning is going to be a little bit of a hot mess, so just bear with me. We are getting ready for the Renaissance Festival, and I need to fix this one's hair. And Scott's making breakfast, so there's going to be a little eating, hair fixing, a little bit of something, everything going on today. All right, I'll fix your hair in just a second. All right. I saw Faye's question. It says, just wondering if it'll get worse before it got better for you. The RA stuff, I was in such a bad spot that it was all bad from the get-go. And, hey, don't kick that. In the beginning, if you are coming off carbs, though, you're going to feel like crap. Because your body's withdrawing. The RA, you might feel some worseness in the sense of oxalate dumping and things like that. It really just depends. Again, I was feeling so bad and so sick from the standard American diet that, I didn't notice much because of the diabetes and everything else that's going on. But the diarrhea, headache, fog, all that kind of stuff is normal when you're withdrawing from the carbs. Ms. Lynette, have you seen the most recent video with Bill Knott posted last night? He's out of bed using a punching bag. Exciting. Wondering if you'd offer advice to him on the subject. I have not. We've had this little one since, Friday. So we've been super busy. I didn't even get to make my weekly update video last night because we've just been doing so much and out and about. But that is amazing. I offered to Bill too that if he wants to, we can talk and get something set up for him, because something that I see is, and this, because I've just worked with the geriatric population, but also the ones that are, morbidly obese and sick and stuff. They go too fast, too hard, and I don't ever want to discourage anybody of anything. However, being safe about it, because when you are that overweight and have been bedbound for so long, it is very easy to hurt yourself. If you hurt yourself, you're not going to want to do anything. So, yeah. Morning, everybody. Coffee. It's got butter in it. No heavy cream this morning. And I have 1 cup a day. I need you to look straight, baby. She keeps trying to look at herself in the camera. Look straight, your braid's going to be crooked as can be.
I'm not wearing a braid.
Well, I'm going to braid it. That way your hair stays cut. Anyway, so, my suggestion is go slow. Focus on, and this is to anybody that's in the same boat, focus on your daily activities of daily living. Look straight. All right. Your ADLs, things that you need to do daily life. So if getting dressed wears you out, we're talking a few hundred pounds, like honestly, 360 pounds. Getting dressed and taking a shower was a feat for me. Focus on the things that you need to do daily. Sit forward, baby. Sit forward. Focus on the things you need to do daily because you want to get better at them. You want to be able to just go out and about and do whatever you need to do and be better at just the basic movements. Because not saying punching a bag isn't good movement, but focusing on the things that need to be done. Whatever it is, taking a shower, getting dressed, doing the dishes. You want to practice on these skills because these are what we call functional activities, and they are what are key. Because guess what? If you practice them now, you're going to have to do them for the rest of ever. Like dishes are always going to have to be done. It gives you something, one, a goal to be achieved, which is perfect, right? That dopamine hit. And 2, you can go at your own pace. So there's that. And I'm almost done with this little one's hair. And I lost her hair tie. So, Aria, what'd you do that for? I lost a second hair tie. Goodness. I know you guys didn't come on here to watch me do a 6-year-old's hair. But we're almost done. Aren't we, Aria? And then you're going to go have breakfast with Uncle Scott. Okay. All right. Last thing. Eyeballs. And the pièce de résistance. Watch your hands. Watch your hands. Boom. All right. Hop off. You're good. Goodbye. Okay. Sorry, guys. We can get back to it. All right. This is what I get for waking up late. Lovely Scott is downstairs making us breakfast right now. Okay. Carnivore for real, what was your longest weight loss plateau? Like, I don't know. I mean, if you're considering 0 weight loss, 2.5 months-ish. Like net from the start of 2 months to not. About 2.5 months. But something that I'm also realizing is it is less about the number, more about how I feel and the level of consistency that is so important. Like, this is not a lose weight fast thing for me. This is is this going to be sustainable for the rest of everything? And it took me 20 years to get so overweight. I mean, yeah, I'd like to snap my fingers and be 140, 150 pounds, but that's not reality, right? Hi, Becky. Yay to day 5. That is absolutely amazing. You are doing wonderful. Just know, sometimes it's a bit rough in the beginning, but that is absolutely normal. Been there, done that. I still love that name, by the way. It's such a sweet candle. Thank you. Oh, my hair up close. That's like, I don't know what they call it. I call it a faux braid because it's somewhat of a braid, somewhat not. Type of iodine. I use Locals 2%. I have on the carnivorousme.com page, there's like the little Amazon symbol. I have it linked exactly the type that I use, which is Locals 2%. I believe they have 5 or 6. Do not get the higher percentage. Iodine is actually kind of hard on the mouth if you have a lot. It's a sterilizer, let me tell you. Kat, do you eat 2 meals or 3 meals a day? Do you snack at all? I do 2 meals. However, I told Scott yesterday I'm really contemplating going back to 3. The reason is where we've been working out and I've been being so active, I normally eat at 10 and then 5, but I'm telling you, around 2 o'clock, and this has not been normal for me, I just get ravenous, like ravenous. And I told him I'm thinking about adding a small meal in there. We're going to try for this next week just the salt rock and just really chugging the water to see if it'll get me past it. But I'm just curious. I'm pretty sure it's just from the increased activity in the muscle or the weightlifting that is causing it. Lynette, what's your favorite part of the Renaissance Festival? The people dressed up. That's my favorite part. I don't know if any of you guys have gone. If you haven't, it is so much fun. Even if you're not like nerds like we are nerds. But every Renaissance festival is a bit different. I'll tell you that. So we were in Arizona, and the one like south of Phoenix we'd go to all the time. That one was all about the shows. Like they actually had a permanent, because it was such a big one. They actually had permanent buildings and everything that they used for the Ren Fair there with some tents. And it was all about like big shows. Super fun, amazing. This one we've never been to. I'm not really sure what to expect. They literally just moved to this site, so I'm assuming nothing permanent for this one. I don't know. I do like looking at all the artisan work and the shopping and stuff. Plus, if Scott, before the stream is over, if he's completely dressed, I'm going to show you Scott's outfit because he's got like a legit all leather Renaissance outfit. The only thing he's missing are boots. He's collected these pieces like over the years. Kat used to, what? Do it now. Go do it more. We convinced, let's see, Sherry from our meetup. Sherry lives near us, so she hangs out with us all the time. She's going to go with us this morning. And then my sister, her husband, his dad is visiting, so he's going to go with us. And then my dad and his girlfriend are coming. And then we have the niece. She's coming with us too. Does Axel Salt make an appearance at your Renaissance? I don't know. I don't know who is at this one. I don't know how big it is. I literally know where to go and that I had to buy tickets ahead of time. That was it. Okay. All right. Been as a wait stall for 2 years. All I'm reading is cut coffee and stevia sweetened drinks. Ugh, I have ravenous cravings 2 to 3 in the afternoon too. Have you tried the Salt Rocks? So I ordered a bag of the Redmond salt crystals. I don't think it's up here. And the first one I got, I loved. It was mostly the salt crystal with a little bit of the minerals in it. This last bag I got, I didn't love it. It was like tons of minerals. And it leaves, like, it's not abnormal, but I have a tactile thing with like putting stuff in my mouth. I'm just a weirdo. I have a tactile thing. And so like I could feel the granules of the minerals, which are good for us, in my mouth. And I did not like that. So I haven't been using it. I gave my favorite one to my mom. I'm going to order some more and I'm going to ask them if there's any way that I could not get the so minerally ones. But that helped so much. Good morning, Keto Simple. F, I wish I could have eggs and dairy wheat, but can this diet be done without eggs? Yes, you can. If you have egg allergies, I have heard people say trying, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's duck eggs. First step is eating just, oh God, y'all, someone's going to know this better than me. It's either taking the white out and eating the white or eating the yolk, not eating one of them. And if that doesn't work, duck eggs are a much better solution if you have issues with chicken eggs. But I can't remember if it's the yolk or the white. It's just the yolks. Okay, Kat said eat just the yolk. Duck, quail, eat yolk. There you go. Take the white out because that's what it is, the inflammatory part. So I'd start with that. I don't like eggs. If you've watched me at all, you know I say this all the time. I don't like eggs. My grandmother scarred me for a life of eggs. I don't like the taste. I don't care how they're cooked. But I do eat them every morning, 2 eggs over medium with 2 pieces of bacon because they're good for me, but I don't have an allergy. So you decide what you want to do with that. But I do know quail and duck eggs are an excellent option because there is so much nutrients in eggs. But again, Lion Diet, there's no eggs on Lion Diet, and people do just fine with that. Cordelia, good morning. Good morning. That's a good picture of you, by the way. Convinced me to do no scale August. I started carnivore last month and the scale was making me nuts. Yes. There are 2 groups, actually, 3 groups of people that I found. There's the people who obsess, which I'm in that category, and constantly want to tweak and change everything every other day, which never gives a chance to work. There's the people who don't care, which amazing. I wish I could be there. And then there's the people who use the scale every day or religiously to like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but like more anal retentive, like that data, use those numbers in a positive way. I do not. You got to figure out where you fit in this. I strongly suggest still once a month if you're in the category that I am in. Mama Bear stopped our artificial sweeteners. That's awesome. I will tell you, we finally yesterday cleaned out, and we're at a little more than 13 months now, cleaned out the last time our upstairs cabinets. We've started because we have like a food room downstairs, cleaned out some of that, but finally there is not a single drop of sugar anywhere in any of my cabinets in any shape, way, shape, or form. We finally got rid of all of it. Even the like tiny little packages for other people. I told Scott, nah, it's gone. I'm sorry. If you want sugar, you're just going to have to suffer. Bring your own to my house because I don't want any of that in the house. And now we're going through the downstairs basement, getting rid of all the wheat and all that. So, artificial sweeteners, no bueno. If you are a sugar person, I think they can be really good if you're struggling to get off real sugar and all the carbs. I think it's a good bridge over. Eventually, I would strongly consider ditching them. One, they are not good for us, okay? Especially aspartame and stuff like that, definitely not good for us. Two, if you have them daily, they keep kind of that your body wanting that sweet taste. And three, they actually spike your insulin, and not a good way either because your body thinks it's going to get sugar and then it doesn't. So you can actually, if you experience any lows or feeling lows in your blood sugar, it can be 99% of the time from artificial sweeteners because the body will pump out insulin to pick up that sugar you're going to eat, and then there isn't any sugar, so then it binds up and picks up the glucose your body actually wanted to use for the brain and stuff. Artificial sweeteners, avoid them the best you can. I have it probably no more than 2 to 3 times a week max because I use the unflavored raw element most of the time, and every once in a while during the week, 2 to 3 times, no more, I'll use one of the stevia ones. If I can't reach one of the unflavored, most of the time is what happens. If Scott's not there with his long arms, we have crazy cabinets, don't ask. Lynette, actually eating less at meals because I have the artificial sweeteners for fooling me into believing I was hungry. Yeah. And it's the insulin. Your insulin spikes and it makes you actually hungrier. So get what you can out of your diet. I use mustard. Well, we know I use mustard and spices. Nothing with sugar, or 99% of your diet without sugar, because our bacon has a tiny, like, I'm thinking like 0.2 grams of sugar per serving, which is nothing, but no other sugar, no sugar hiding in my mustard, no sugar anywhere like that. It will trigger you to want to eat more. See, duck eggs are so much more creamy. I've never had duck eggs. I don't know why, I just never have had duck eggs. JP, down 5 pounds after 5 days. Yes, amazing. Everybody keep in mind though, initially, always in the beginning, a lot of it's water weight. Not that that is a bad thing because any weight off the body is better. But the reason I mention this is because don't be disappointed if the first couple weeks you lose a lot and then bam, it's like you lose 1 pound a week or half a pound for a little while. It is natural. It is normal. And I just don't want anybody to get disappointed because it happens. I mean, it happened with me. I lost the first 2 weeks, I lost like 15 pounds, but my legs were also very, very swollen from fluid, like very swollen. Yeah. The scale fluctuates. 1 gallon of water. Okay. Think about how much water you drink in a day. 1 gallon of water is 8.3 pounds. This is why I don't suggest weighing every day, because depending on how much you've eaten, because there's water in what we eat, how much you've had to drink, all this, it all varies. I took my produce to my son, hated giving him poison, but hated to see it go to waste. There are some people who can genuinely tolerate like low carb veg, fine. I genuinely feel like that. I am not one of them. So I wouldn't necessarily see it as poison other than if it was sugar. I do see sugar as poison for sure now. Lorraine, can you only buy it online? I feel like I've seen it in a store before, but I buy mine online. I actually have in my video descriptions, I have a link with a discount code that you can use if you want to buy Redmond's. Oh, here we go. Redmond's salt at Walmart and online. Thank you, Lori, for that. Betsy, do you check your blood sugar levels? Not anymore. Unless I'm just like one-off random curious, I'll check them, but I don't bother anymore. One, because my insurance won't pay for my strips anymore because I had my doctor take it off my chart thing, but also because I don't like stabbing myself. Every time I take it, it's anywhere between 70 and 80. I have been checking my ketones, though, just out of pure curiosity. Oh, yeah. See, Redmond's in the store. I am pretty sure Fred Meyer's, which is Kroger's here, I've seen the bag of like the refill bag. They don't normally have the shaker, but maybe they just don't buy that many and they get sold out. Oh, Walmart doesn't carry any. Canada is a bit of a problem with these because you have to, one of my ladies, she lives in Canada, and it's an arm and a leg to get stuff sent to Canada. Water keeps getting heavier. I am not sure what you mean by that per se. I mean, if we're talking about like tens, hundreds to thousands weight of water, it would depend on how many minerals and stuff are in it. And I guess the volume of the water, and if it's salt water or, whatever. That's beyond my brain this morning. I'm anxious to see if my hypoglycemia improves. It will. No sugars, no artificial sweeteners. Your body will stop dumping insulin, which will stop those spikes from the downward spikes, because that's what hypoglycemia is your body sucks up all the glucose with insulin, and bam, down you go. Hi, Leah. Betsy, refill bags, Sprouts, and Whole Foods. Lorraine, I don't know how close to the Canadian border you are. We live literally 15 miles from it. So our Costco gets overrun by Canadians and they seem to buy a lot of their stuff here and then just drag it back over the border. Good Lord. And I guess it's just a lot cheaper. Oh, thank you, Diane. She says she ordered Redmond salt online through Walmart in Canada. Walmart does. They've kind of turned into Amazon in some regards, that if they don't actually have it online, they'll go through another vendor like Diane's doing here. And you can actually kind of treat Walmart sometimes like Amazon. They'll go outside their stuff to order things for you. And that might be a ton cheaper than Amazon. Amazon has the salt too, but I don't know anything about the costs. Janice, I've been on and off carnivore for a couple of years. My A1C went down, but my liver enzymes went up. I experienced a temporary increase in my ALT. I don't remember which one it was. Not too much, but I did experience a slight increase. And then after 6 months, I think somewhere around there, it started going down and now it's normal. I'm curious if you had your blood work done right before you started carnivore and while you were completely on carnivore, because I will tell you one thing that is very hard on the body. Two things. If you want to gain weight quickly, eat a carnivore diet with sugar. That is the whole, people, fat makes you fat. Like that, there's that old saying, fat makes you fat. And it's not true except under certain circumstances. If you're eating a lot of carbs and sugar, what happens is your body will prioritize breaking those down and using them first because they are easier. Thank you very much, my love. It is a hot mess over here with hair stuff and things. Your body will prioritize the use of the carbs and sugar and first. They're simple, less steps to do. Then it'll put the fat on the back burner, and then it will break your fat down and eventually turn it into fat stores down the road because you're eating the glucose and sugar. No glucose, no sugar. Your body will utilize the fat first. Okay. Did I miss your comment, Tara? I'm sorry if I did. Here we go. Tara, sorry. Down 14.5 pounds. Yes, on day 27. That's amazing. Rode my bike for the first time yesterday. And after recovering from a leg injury, my appetite is almost zero. I drink water only and battling Coke Zero habit. Ugh. Congrats on your progress. And also specifically on riding your bicycle. I love that. The Coke Zero. something Dr. Berry recommends is, I think he said water, but I would suggest sparkling water because then you don't mess with the fizziness. Water it down like 1 week, do like half and half, and then a quarter and 3/4 of the sparkling water to none. Or if you just want to stop it cold turkey, get yourself some unsweetened, no sugar, no artificial sugar, seltzer water. There has flavored ones. The plain, yes, is the best, but I'm not perfect. Switch your soda out for that. It'll take a little getting used to because it's not sweet. I think it's a little sweet now, but there's no sugar in it. Trade it out. The Coke Zero, like there's so much. Look at the chemicals in the back of them. They're just really, really hard on us. Okay. I'm sorry if I skipped anything. Do you think insulin would go up when we drink a fruit-flavored seltzer water? Well, technically, when we eat anything, no matter what it is, our insulin goes up slightly. I don't think it would even be, it'd be nuance. I don't think in any way, shape, or form. I have had zero issues, but again, everybody's genetics are slightly different. I'm one of these people that if I have more than 10 carbohydrates in a day, I'm out of ketosis. So I'm very sensitive to things like this. I have not experienced any issue with my seltzer waters at all. My fasting insulin's come down. You know, by this point, my type 2 diabetes has been reversed. The natural flavorings, we all know that's cue for this is probably not the best, but I'm not going to be a jail warden to myself and remove every single thing that keeps me on this diet. So the best option would be just plain old seltzer water, but I like my flavored ones. Not really cheaper because of exchange rates, but a lot more keto and carnivore options in the US and Costco. Yeah. Amy, day 5 of carnivore, are you concerned about stevia and LMNT? I'm 5-ish days a week. I use the unflavored or the raw, no stevia kind, and only 2 to 3 times a week will I use the stevia one. I will not use it more than that personally, because well, and I probably on the stevia ones drink half a pack because Scott and I will share most of the time when we do that. So no, I just use more of the unflavored raw throughout the week. I'll just dump it in my big old Bubba water cup. It's just a plastic cup I got off of Amazon. F, the grateful. Well, tell your daughter, Amanda, I said hi. This is off subject, but I remember in 9th grade, my algebra class, there were 4 Amandas in that class. So she started calling us by our last names. Yoli and Aunt TV only lost 7 pounds, 30 days. Shouldn't I have lost more? No. Here's the thing. Everybody won. The people like me who I lost like 28 pounds in 30 days. I was 360 pounds and I had so much edema, like fluid in my legs. Like, how do I say this? It's called pitting edema. It's like when you take your thumb, press into the front of your shin, and then you take your thumb out, there's seconds you count, and then you grade how bad the pitting edema is. Most people, you push, the skin goes back to normal. I pushed, you hold for like 20 seconds, move my thumb, and it left a big old imprint, and that tells you how deep and how bad it is. I had a lot of fluid. I think the first week or 2 weeks, it was like 15 pounds, but it was mostly fluid. Everybody's body is different, and I know a lot of our goals are to lose weight, but this is about healing the body, and the body has to get rid of all of the crap that we've put in it, all the chemicals we've put in it, and so each body is going to be a little different. 7 pounds is pretty good. Tell me the last time you gained 7 pounds in 30 days. Like, I think we really need to kind of turn it around. And how long did it take us to gain this weight? Unless you're pregnant. And that's a different story. That's cheating. I only say that because my sister. When a comment got deleted, I have no idea. I don't have any mods that delete anything. No idea. Lovey. All right. Lynn, stress to large gathering yesterday. Came home with a heavy cream that I took to share with my coffee. Ended up making a bowl of whipped cream and swerve. Today I'll be cleaning the cupboards. Yep. Scott and I are going to, whether my sister wants it or not, because we're doing no heavy cream, no cheese throughout the month. I already froze all of our cheese. I put it in vacuum seal bags and threw that stuff in the freezer because I'm too lazy to let these cheese thaw. I shouldn't say too lazy, too impatient. And the only thing we have left is 2 things of Costco size heavy cream. I'm taking to my sister's this morning. They get it. Karen, order straight from Redmond when you can. Great company. They are. They're actually a really, really good company. Try cutting out dairy for more weight loss. It might be hindering you. Yep. I did no dairy a few months into carnivore. Didn't see quite an improvement, but I also was losing weight pretty consistently. This month, Scott and I are doing only butter. No other type of dairy. No heavy cream, which Scott's dying for. And I don't want to dump this on a computer. Butter. It doesn't even have to be that much. It's like a teaspoon of butter. And I just, the frother or put it in the blender. It is, yeah. Dr. Berry recommends Topo Chico. And there is, what's the other one? In the glass bottle. Glass bottles are better. Back. That's what I did. Diet Coke, addict, swap sparkling water. It's a really good trade-off. I mean, it is. I've never been a beer drinker. I don't like alcohol at all. Actually, I'm missing the enzyme. So I have what they call the Asian flush because I get actually very ill from alcohol. My body can't break it down very well. Anyways, I love having like if we've been outside working and sweating, coming back and having a really cold seltzer water. It's what I imagine people feel like when they crack a cold beer. Barely watching. Any tips for beef aversion? Can't eat eggs or much pork products. I'm curious how far in on your journey you are. In the beginning, having meat aversion is pretty normal. I had it a handful of times, and I am not a proponent of fasting, but I did in this regard, and I actually do suggest it in this regard because the way I go about it is I ask myself, if I was starving, truly starving, would I stick my nose up at the meat in front of me? If the answer is no, then it is a craving. It is not what our body needs. And that is how I got past it. The eggs, try duck eggs, quail eggs, as everybody has been saying. And I don't eat a lot of pork either. I have my 2 pieces of bacon most mornings, but I don't eat much pork in any regards other than that. You can do fish. But you really want to add more fat as much as you can to that. Beef, you can try lamb, you can try deer, bison is a good option. There's all sorts of it, but if you're having meat aversion, most of the time it is because your body is craving carbs or it just doesn't want it. But do the logic thing of like, if I was starving, would I eat this? Tara, carbonated water, it's going to take a while. Habits are habits because we've done them a long time. So just, give yourself some grace and you got this. Dairy also gives me sinus congestion and infection. So identify with your husband's sinus issues. Yeah. He going to be really sad at the end of, he's downstairs with my niece. He's going to be really sad at the end of this month, but I'm pretty sure I haven't heard him hacking and like clearing his sinuses for days. And I told him I would give almost anything never to hear that. And it's not just him, anybody. I worked in skilled nursing facilities like my first few years out of school. And let me tell you, that was the most common noise you ever heard was people clearing their throats. Sarah, has your vision changed on carnivore? Yes. My vision hasn't gotten worse. I have consistently, ever since I was, 18-ish, somewhere in there, had to every 2 years get a stronger prescription. I have not since starting carnivore because I went to the eye doctor like 6 months ago. It's the first time, I'm 33, I have not had to increase my prescription on my glasses. So That's a bonus for me, because eventually I'm going to end up with Coke bottle thick glasses at the rate I'm going. Lori, love your cup. Thank you. I don't know. Well, I guess they don't. I got this from Bed Bath & Beyond before they went out of business, like 5 years ago. I have not, by the way, anybody, I've never tried polar water. Or have I? I don't know. I just don't like Dasani. Sorry if anybody works for Dasani. The flavor is terrible. Oh, homemade butter bites. Yes, there you go. That's and actually, if you need a little extra fat, that is a good option. I usually put butter under my steak. Why under? I don't know, but it tastes better than melting it on top. Let's see. Hi, Bumblebee. I'm trying to catch up. I have a question. What about peanut butter, no sugar, or lemon water for phlegm? Peanut butter is a big no-no for this type of dietary intake. Peanut butter is actually a legume. It is not a nut. I actually get migraines from peanuts, but it's more the mold related than anything. So peanuts are highly, highly inflammatory, and peanuts are one of the biggest proponents of carrying mold. I started getting migraines when I was 5. My poor mother, I used to literally scream. My eyeballs were going to pop out of my head. My siblings thought it was funny. I'm the youngest. They literally thought it was funny. To their defense, they were only like a year and some years older than me when they would laugh at me. Anywho, I discovered it was the mold on the peanuts that caused my migraines. But peanuts, no. I would strongly, if anybody's eaten peanut butter, peanuts, chuck them suckers. Nuts themselves are highly inflammatory, but peanuts are the worst. Lemon water, the problem with with Scott and the phlegm is it's a post-nasal drip. It's coming from the sinuses down. So then it's dripping down into his trachea, and then he's having to clear and cough. Drinking anything isn't going to help because it's coming from the sinuses back down in the trachea into the lungs. And it's just natural that your body wants to clear it out to keep anything from dripping into the lungs. So there is that. I mean, I'm not against lemon water if someone has no issues with the lemon itself. My auntie sends blood tests to test labs to detect allergies. I've had some allergy testing and things done. I had the old school where they literally stab you and inject you in your back. I am allergic to pine trees. I did learn that, and I still am. Do you have the carnivore flu? I'm now day 8 now, just dying. It is carb withdrawal you are going through. It is 100% normal. It sucks, don't get me wrong, but it is absolutely normal to be experiencing that. Your body is switching from the instant sugars, carbs and sugars that you intake, to fat burning, and your body is just absolutely crying out for you to give it the carbs and sugars. You will have headache, fatigue, brain fog. You can have muscle cramps. You can have all of the above. You'll have diarrhea. Some people have constipation, which is more rare, but you can have constipation or diarrhea. All of that will get better. You just have to kind of muster through it. I suggest increasing your salt intake. That will help quite a bit. Also, if you can get some more magnesium or potassium in there. Something I do suggest to new people it's something I didn't do and I really wish I had, is having some kind of electrolyte mix. You decide whatever you want to do. It helps so much. Because what happens is with the carbs, your body will retain a lot of water from the salt you've consumed. It's like a little train. Carbs make your body hold salt, which make your body hold water. You get rid of the carbs, your body will just start excreting all that salt and water out. And that's where the cramps and headaches and stuff, a lot of them comes from, is your body's just excreting all the salt because it had been normally holding on to it. Someone did ask me in an email, and I haven't emailed them back, but I did want to cover this. They were concerned about salt intake. and having high blood pressure. Salt, as we just went over, salt follows carbs. It's like for every carb you have, it's like a 2-to-1 ratio. Your body will maintain like for one carb, it's like 2 grams of water. Don't quote me on it, but it's like a 2-to-1 ratio. Okay. And then the salt binds in there too. If you are not having carbohydrates and sugars, your body will release all of that and you won't maintain higher levels of sodium and fluid in your body. It's like a water hose. The more fluid in our body, in our bloodstream, it makes our blood pressure go up. Okay. So if you are not having carbs and sugar, salt does not cause issues the majority of the time. There are the rare cases with cardiac things that it is an issue, but those tend to be more rare. But also talk to your doctor. And, it's all about self-experimentation and figuring out what works. Irene, my weight loss stalled. What should I do? How long? How long have you been doing it? How long has it stalled? And something I strongly always suggest, take a week and write down. I'm not a big proponent of tracking things except in this regard. Track exactly what you're eating. Weigh your food, write down your carbs, track it out. It gives you a good idea of your baseline. Then you change one thing. All of August, Scott and I are doing no dairy except butter to see if that helps move it forward. Because sometimes we get the creep is what I call it. And you'll have carbs and things sneak in there. Like you got a new mustard. And well, it turns out that mustard actually has 2 grams of carbs per serving. And you're having like 3 servings at one meal. These little carb creeps can happen. And that's why checking it for just a week at least is where you should start with if you are stalled. Because there's no way to know what to change if you don't know what your baseline at that moment is. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I actually really do like these classes. Peanuts and peanut butter make me choke. It's pretty common because it gets stuck as you're swallowing it. Butter bites under the meat. I don't know what it is, but what it is? It's because it warms the butter so much. The meat warms the butter and then it warms the plate. It's just... All right. Small amount of goat cheese. Try chopping any cheese out. And if you're doing any liquid dairy. Have you found yourself craving liver? Lately, I've been craving it strangely. No. I have tried liver once in my life, and it did not stay in my mouth. It did not stay in my mouth. Fat bastards. Sorry. It just made me think of my brain, the movie with what's his name in it. Anyways, what do you think about sugar-free Jell-O? Isn't gelatin made from animal parts? If you're going to do that, I would strongly suggest the unsweetened, no artificial flavor or no artificial sweeteners and no food dye. So you probably would have to go to a health food store, and it is usually from ground pig feet, gelatin is. I would do that. But at that point, it's like just gel flavor you're eating, But definitely not the no sugar, like the Jell-O brand. Don't do that. There are so many chemicals in those. Okay. Hi, Beth. No worry about being late. Wondering what's the difference between keto and carnivore. So we've got keto, ketovore, and carnivore. Keto is eating a net of 20 carbs or less a day. So some people have berries. Some, they'll have low carb veg and stuff like that and meat. And that's what they eat daily. Ketovore is having like 95% of your diet meat with 5%. So 3 to 4 times a week max of low carb vegetables. So dark leafy greens, those like broccoli, asparagus, those kinds of things. And they tend to aim for 20 carbs, not net carbs, 20 carbs or less a day. Some people do even less, just depending on them. And carnivore is literally aiming for 0 carbs a day, and we just eat meat. There's a different reason people do different things. Keto is a great place to start if you are like eating the standard American diet, or the idea of carnivore is just too overwhelming. It is a really great place to start. You're cutting down what you're eating, so you're going to be eating a lot less things that are inflammatory, plus no sugars, which is good. Ketovore is usually the next step people fall into. They remove all the fruit, no fructose, and they cut down any carby vegetables they may have been eating. Carnivore is great for those of us, myself, that have experienced binge eating, also with highly inflammatory disease processes and autoimmune. Getting rid of the vegetables and the fruits are very important because I have a lot of reactions, and vegetables have a lot of oxalates. If you don't know what oxalates are, just Google them. It's a quick explanation. Oxalates are extremely inflammatory, and carnivore is excellent to get as much inflammation out of the body as possible. And so you just kind of got to decide where you fall along that spectrum. And hey, a lot of people start keto, or they'll do dirty keto, then clean keto, and then ketovore, and then carnivore, or heck, people stay keto their whole life. Have you tried eggs in your morning coffee? I don't think I could even drink it if Scott did that to me. I hate eggs. Like, I haven't eaten. I'm just going to have to gobble it. That's the most eggs I'll ever eat. 2 eggs, 2 pieces of bacon. That's all I'll ever eat. I just don't like eggs. And I've tried them. Boiled, not boiled, you name it, I've tried it. I do not like them. Let's see. I'm addicted to butter egg coffee. Someone said it's delicious, but it's a mental thing for me. It is a mental thing for me. KPL begins exactly 2 months. Who's joining me there? Are you staying at the Galt house? I really want to go to Ketapalooza. For those of you that don't know about it, it is October, like this time of October. Yeah. So in 2 months, as Lynette said, I really, really want to go. I just don't know if we're going to, just because that whole, the company that we're contracted with getting scammed over $10,000 waiting on them to actually pay us thing. And I was wanting to go, but I don't know yet. The only issue would be if a person has sodium sensitive. Yeah. And it tends to be on the rarer side for these things, but that's why I say you really need to know where you sit along the spectrum of things. Oh, I didn't know this. Sugar-free jello mixes have made from plant or algae. I did not know that. That is interesting. Gentlemen, what type of salt do you use? I use Redmond's. Where's the camera? Lord have mercy. I use Redmond's. I haven't. Oh, that was Minnie's. That is what I use. I do not use, you guys, if you're using iodized table salt, I haven't eaten anything. It's going to be I'll have to swallow it whole in 10 minutes. If you're using iodized salt, throw it out. You don't have to buy Redmond's. You can do like the Himalayan or the Celtic or whatever. In these iodized salts, specifically in the United States, they use things that have been banned in other countries as anti-caking agents. Okay. These chemicals have been banned. Like, this is my new soapbox lately. They have been banned in Europe, but they still okay it for Americans to eat. Like, that makes no sense. It takes a lot to ban something. Not that it's just like, oh, this isn't really good. It's like, nah, this is real bad. But they let us use it in the United States. Get rid of your iodized salt. That's part of the reason that my coffee, well, that's actually the main reason. My coffee, I put the 2 drops of 2% Lugol's iodine because I don't use iodized salt anymore. Make a mess. So there's my soapbox of throw your iodized salt away today. Please don't give it to anybody. Or actually, it works well to ice your steps. There you go. Put it in your garage. Can you get too much salt? I use salt on all my food plus electrolytes. I mean, of course, we can get too much of anything. I did hear someone one time tell me they were doing like 3 elements a day, which is a lot. It's eats a lot, they probably were peeing and drinking a lot because the body will just flush it out. But the problem is when you're getting tons of salt and then you're also drinking tons of water, you're kind of just washing things out. But your body will tell you. You know, there are people who do need a bit more salt. I do because I sweat a lot. Like that Redmond salt shaker, I'm just like as I'm eating because I sweat a lot. Some people don't. If you don't sweat a lot, you'll tend to eat less. Your taste buds will tell. Especially if you're feeling parched a lot, you're having too much salt. Well, I mean, after you've had something salty is what I mean. What do you think about sugar-free Jell-O? Isn't gelatin made from animal parts? Did I answer this or someone else asked? I strongly suggest if you do it, you get it from a not Whole Foods, but a organic store. But a lot of them have a ton of additives, and I strongly suggest not doing the ones with the no sugar artificial sweeteners in it. Shannon, what is a butter bite? I have a video on how to make them. It literally is you take butter. What's brown butter bite? You take butter, it's simple, chuck it in a pan, and then you let it melt. And what happens is the milk solids separate from the fat, and you brown the milk solids in the bottom of the pan. And then I have chocolate molds. They're just like silicone little chocolate molds. And you just dump the butter in them, put it in the refrigerator, and it tastes like caramelizedness. It's really good. I've got a 2-minute video on how to make them. They're good for snacks, or if you're going somewhere and you're not sure if you're gonna be able to get something to eat, or I put them in my coffee. I actually need to make some more because Scott ate them all. And they taste really good because they give a caramely taste without the sugar in your coffee. Whole milk is starting to make me feel sick. Whole milk, and this is just an FYI, and you decide what you're going to do. Whole milk actually has still a lot of sugar in it, even if you are getting it from a farm, because it's usually 2%, and that means 2% of what you're eating is fat. Heavy cream is 40%, give or take your brand. Okay. I would not be surprised if you aren't getting a handful of carbs from drinking milk, and depending on how much milk you're drinking, I'd say chuck it out. Try 30 days, no dairy. Literally, if you're starting to feel bad from it, try 30 days, no dairy. It's a little hard at first, but then you get used to it. Emmy, how about tomato sauce on steak? If you're doing ketovore, you do it. I am not a big fan of it. Tomatoes are a nightshade plant, which tend to be higher in oxalates, which means more inflammation. If I had tomato today, my rosacea, I shouldn't say my rosacea is gone, but it kind of is. But I do have some of the spider veins. It's just once they're there, they're there. They've gotten a lot better, but they're never going to completely disappear unless I have lasers done. Too much. But anyways, it makes my entire face go beet red when I have tomatoes. It's an instant reaction for me. Michelle, thank you. Austin Powers. I had the A stuck in my head. Janelyn, so glad I found Carnivore. My pre-diabetes is gone. Congrats. Plus, it's really easy shopping, no clutter. I love the ease. Scott's always like, we should do recipe videos. But I'm like, I really just like the ease. Cooking a steak, or we did the taco seasoning and beef with pork rinds the other day. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I hate dishes, y'all. Liverwurst, if you can find some that do not have a ton of additives. So it's going to be hunting and pecking for that. Some have sugar. I will tell you, most processed meats, and when I say processed, I'm including any kind of sausage, bacons and stuff in this, they will have trace amounts of sugar. Why? Unless you make them yourself. Why? Because one, some add it for flavor. If it has a lot of sugar, they've added it for flavor, but they use sugar, trace amounts, with the sodium nitrate, because what happens is the sodium nitrate pulls the moisture out. Well, the sugar helps balance it so it doesn't get the Sahara Desert meat. And it is actually an antimicrobial, is why they have trace amounts in there. but you do want to find the least amount possible. Most of them, if you can find like really good kind, it'll say 0, even though it has like 0.2 grams per serving, but you won't even notice that. Sheila, I've been a heart patient for 54 of my 63 years, and the last 10 years, and my feet and ankles swell. I guess it's edema. Does salt make it worse? If you are having carbs and sugars, yes. Yes and no. If you have carbs and sugar without salt, you will still have edema. If you have carbs and sugar with salt, it'll just be a bit worse. Because as I said, they bind together and then the body retains fluid. Get rid of the carbs and sugars. And I would give it a couple weeks and then start increasing your salt intake, and you will notice almost no swelling. As long as you're not in that like tiny little percent that does have some salt issues. Oh, Mary makes her own Jell-O. Look at that. I'm just not that ingenious about things. Do you know if there's any ever sales on LMNT once you've already had the sampler sent to you? Every time you order something, you can use the, I think mine's like drinklmnt.com/carnivorous me. If you just do that, they will keep sending you it with each thing, as long as you don't do the monthly subscription. If you just like reorder, every once in a while they do have a sale. I think, don't quote me on it if it's still going, but it was like buy 4 get the 5th free of their stuff. I'm pretty sure it's still going on, but I would check on that. Diane, if you don't like eggs, why would you eat them? Because they're healthy for me, and I don't know. I don't want to eat beef for breakfast, and it's a brain thing, and I can easily swallow that. That's why. Because you know what it is? I look forward to my evening meal, and I can easily eat this and not think anything of it after I eat it. Question. Sharon, I don't like any fish. Can't stand salmon. Should I take an omega supplement? I don't like fish either. I really don't like fish. I take iodine. Iodine, I strongly recommend. Caveat, I'm not a doctor. We all know this by now, but that's my caveat there. But if you are not using iodized salt, which please don't use iodized salt. And if you're not eating a lot of seafood, we still need iodine for every cell in our body to function. Most people just are concerned about with the thyroid. Yes, thyroid is very important. And yes, it does use iodine, but our other cells use iodine as well. With your omega supplements, it wouldn't harm you to do it, but it's going to be pretty pricey, because you guys check, if you're taking supplements, check them, especially the ones from Walmart and Target and stuff. A lot of them are full of seed oils, especially the vitamin D, safflower, sunflower oil. Like I've seen it all that they put in there to give you less vitamin D, but the volume looks the same. Check your supplements real well. Lady, why? If you can't stand eggs, why do you force yourself to eat them? I mean, it's the same logic of I would still to this day rather eat cake for breakfast. But, they're good for me. That's why. I wouldn't really say I force myself. I just don't love them. I eat them and I move on. Linda, I can't taste the egg in the coffee. That's what people have said. It's all brain. It's all brain. I just would know I could, even though I couldn't taste them. It's just in my head. Use bad salt for cleaning. That's a really good idea. Or, if you're like in a snowy area. Complaints about plants being bad, but still drinks coffee. Okay. Yeah. Does eating peppers cause inflammation to you too? Bell peppers, yes. I actually don't use black pepper anymore. Not that it's the same exact pepper, but I stopped eating black pepper, good Lord, months ago. I noticed that I was getting redness from it, so I don't do that. Iodized salt's great to kill weeds. I didn't know that. I'm 100. No, I don't have any high ice salt. What if regular salt would work? I've got some weeds outside my planter. Do you use salted butter bites? No, I do not use salted butter of any kind because it's usually going to have iodized salt, but also because I like to control how much salt is in my food. So I always personally buy unsalted butter, but that's me. Yeah, Irene, thank you for that. Unsalted butter, because you don't know exactly how much is going to go in there when everything's melted and switched and stuff. Jacqueline, I don't have a question or just want to remind you that I adore you. Sweet, thank you. Not holding on to any bananas. I haven't had a conversation about the banana in the cage. I'm due for making another video about letting go of the bananas in the cage. Legs up the wall will help. Yeah, if you can elevate your legs, specifically at night, if you can get some pillows. Actually, honestly, the best thing, I think I looked at one of the ladies for it. There is a wedge, like a leg wedge you can, which will be better than pillows. You can get your legs elevated at night. You probably will have to pee a few times, but after a few days, it'll diminish a lot. Let's see. Hi, Mad to Itch. Mad to Itch. That's cute. Oh, Heather, thank you. It was buy 3, get 4 free. I stated that wrong. Okay, a few more and then I gotta eat. Lori, what's LMNT? LMNT is an electrolyte mix I use. There are all sorts of different. There's LMNT, there's Relight, I think Keto Chow people have some. You can get off-brand stuff on Costco. You can make your own. There's 1,000 different ways you can do it. Katie, when did you notice your anxiety and depression lifting? Within the first few months, and it was probably 4 months or so. I really noticed a big difference. Really big difference. Is sardine diet okay, and for how many days? All right. I'm gonna try to get to the last few, but this one, Amanda's soapbox, second soapbox for the day. I am not remotely for doing any of these fad adjustments. Are you dressed? Do you guys want to see Scott?
Well, I don't have my bracers on yet.
Oh, well, I'll let him finish getting dressed, and then I'll show you guys what Scott's outfit looks like. Got to put your hat on, too. Anyways, I am not a proponent for any of these sardine fast, the butter fast, so this fast. To me, this needs to be a sustainable lifestyle. Doing fasts is about losing weight quicker. And here's the thing. I did not gain weight overnight, and it just stresses me out. It makes us completely unsustainable constantly going through this. And I'm just, that is where I sit. You decide what you want to do. And I'm not shaming anybody who wants to do these things, but I think it puts us in a really bad logic place of, okay, I'm going to do sardine fast or what is it, like rolling 48s or like fast, not for 4 days or eat for 2 days. And then I eat and then I don't eat and then I eat. And it's like, this is a lot of stress. I am all about sustainability because the only reason I've lost weight is my thing is consistency. Being consistent. And if I was doing like the sardine fast and stuff, that's not being consistent. That's just trying to rig the game. That's like going back to the mentality of I'm going to do this diet for this window to lose this amount of weight. And then I don't do it. And then I fail and then I quit. And then I gain 50 more pounds. That's my opinion. Don't do it. Like if you want to eat sardines on it, do it. Sardines are actually, I think Dr. B is like one of like a good non-mercury type of way to get seafood. Like they're, I think, one of the best fishes because they eat algae and stuff. Okay. Let's see. Have Epsom garlic on sardines. The only way I can eat them. I have garlic powder, so you. If you're fine with it, I wouldn't stress. Your eyebrows are perfect. Do you have them done or just natural beauty? This is eyebrow pencil. I literally my eyebrows, we've been outside. I've noticed they've been getting blonder, but this is the shape of my eyebrows. I haven't plucked or done nothing to my eyebrows for like 8 years. Have you tried the Redmond Relight compared to LMNT? I have. Honestly, they're the same. Don't tell LMNT I said that, but they're the same. Because I had them. They sent me some. So, what unsalted butter do you use? Because Marigold started putting other stuff in it. I never liked Marigold. Y'all fire me for that. I don't like it. I never did. I use Costco's unsalted butter. That's it. Karen, no fast for me either. You know, the only time I said I ever use fast is when a meat aversion hits, and that's the only time. Or if like I'm feeling kind of bad, but I don't do it to lose weight faster. LMNT has buy 3, get 1 free all the time. Y'all, I'm the worst. But yeah, buy 3, get 1 free. Do you ever eat whole milk cottage cheese? Cottage cheese has a lot of carbs. I tried to make some cottage cheese like crackers like a week and a half ago. They did not turn out well. That's why you guys didn't hear about them. But then I realized how many carbs there were, like net carbs, or not net carbs, whole carbs, not net. Net carbs are a joke, by the way. It doesn't work 1-to-1 that way. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself so okay, I'm going to show you guys Scott's outfit, and then we're going to have to go. I got to swallow my cold eggs at this point.
We don't have quite the armbands.
Here, you got to back up.
Yeah, I'm missing my belt too.
Oh, you don't have your belt on?
Yeah, my belt with my pouch on my gloves. All gray and black.
That's Scott's Renaissance Festival outfit. He looks handsome. All right, guys. I appreciate you. We'll be back 9 o'clock next Sunday. We just did early today, and I will take lots of pictures. We're going to have lots of fun. I appreciate all of you so very much. I normally do my Sunday update videos, but I will put it out tomorrow because we've been busy. So anyways, your best response to people that try to get you to eat carbs. I'm fat. I don't eat carbs. Literally, that's my response. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good Sunday. Go do something fun. And if you don't have something fun planned, go plan something fun. It doesn't have to cost any money. Get outside. Go walk. Enjoy the beautiful day, even if it's raining.